Hey everyone, Buddy Corbin with the REIAnetwork.com. I'm here with Kim. Kim teaches our short sale subgroup every month, and we're happy to have Kim with us today.
Thank you, and North Metro REIA for allowing me the opportunity. And short sales are honestly one of the hottest topics going right now.
Yes, they are.
One of the best way to structure a deal is through the art of the short sale process, and that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of jump in there and remind everyone that short sale is a deal structuring technique, and though you're structuring the deal with the lender, though you're negotiating the deal with the lender, you're still purchasing the home from the homeowner. So make sure that your homeowner is actually at closing, okay? And last month we also talked about key criteria in all short sales. We talked about the 3 key criteria, the most important key criteria, and that is value versus debt. What is the value of the property versus the debt of the mortgage? What type of mortgage it is, what type of loan product, and what the age of the mortgage is. Also, what type of the distress? Is the distress with the homeowner or is the distress with the home? So just a quick review as to what we talked about last month. Key criteria in all short sales. The most important key criteria is value versus debt. What the property is worth versus the debt on the property, that's actually going to determine whether or not a mortgage company will agree to settle the account. So keep that in mind, value versus debt. Let's look at a few just real fast case studies just to briefly go over what we went over last month. Looking at a few of these case studies, value versus debt. What if your debt is higher than the value? If the distressed homeowner owes, in this particular case, $122,000, and he has approximately $18,000 in repairs. Once you look at your comparables in the area, in this particular case, the comparables in the neighborhood were about $115,000. Once you minus out the repairs versus the appraised value in the neighborhood or the comparables in the neighborhood, that's going to bring your value of this particular house down to about $97,000. So looking again as to the possibility if this is going to be a good short sale candidate, it is, mainly because the homeowner owes $122,000, but with the comparables in the neighborhood being $115,000 and repairs needed at $18,000, the appraised value of the property is going to be about $97,000. So that's actually going to be a good short sale candidate. So if your debt value is higher than the appraised value, that's a good short sale for you. Uh-oh, I want my computer work here. Hang on, buddy. Dingity. There we go. Sorry about that.
Hey, Kim, I had a question for you. On that house there, that example there, it says that it bring the value down to $97,000. What would you look at trying to negotiate as a sales price on something like this?
Great question, buddy. With it being an FHA loan, and that's very, very important when you're negotiating a short sale to know what type of loan product you have. With this being an FHA loan, with this particular one, we did this about a year ago, and FHA's guidelines as to what they would accept based on appraised value were a little bit different than they are now, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But the way that I structure this and determine whether it's going to be a good short sale candidate is I look at, number one, what are the comparables in the area? And I look at true comparables. I mean, I don't make it up, because if I make it up, all I'm doing is hurting myself. So I look at true value of the neighborhood, true value of the comparables. And then I kind of go through and do an estimated cost of repairs. And in this particular case, true values in the neighborhood were about $115,000. True value of repairs that I could easily validate were about $18,000. So that's going to bring, again, the house value down to $97,000. So I would take, again, we did this back in 2008, I think. So I did 82% of $97,000. And that's the way I came up with my net proceeds to the bank, and that's the way I came up with my offer. So you have to go into it a little backwards in order to reach the end result and what the bank is going to be willing to accept, but that's the way I go into it, is I look at comparables in the neighborhood minus the repairs, bring in the value at $97,000, and then I go, okay, what will the bank accept as their net proceeds? Well, they want to net at least 82% of appraised value, and so I do 97 times 82, and that's the way I know what the bank is willing to accept.
So on this, if let's say your value was at 105, let's say it didn't need as much repairs, or the value you couldn't justify a much lower value than that. If 82% of that's not a number that's acceptable to you, you would have passed on this altogether and probably wasted your time, right?
Well, actually, no, and that's the cool thing.
Oh, okay.
The cool thing about short sales and about either structuring as a wholesale or a retail short sale is because, let's say, for example, I didn't want to give more than $65,000 for this house for me personally to purchase.
Right.
Then by looking at my comparables, minusing out my repairs, knowing what my value is going to come in at, and knowing what the mortgage company is going to be willing to accept, then I know that the mortgage company is not going to drop this as low as I need it to go, right? So if I can't purchase it for what I know the bank's going to reduce the price to, then why can't I find another buyer? And that's the cool thing about retail short sales, is that I would hook up with a realtor that's savvy to short sales and say, okay, you, Miss Realtor, you find a buyer for me, and I'll negotiate the short, and I'll get paid a little bit of, negotiating fee or whatever. I won't make as much on the house, but it's the cool thing about this, the retail short sale structure, is that I don't have to buy the house. I have no risk there, and I don't need any money because I'm not the buyer on the home. I'm simply the negotiator. So if the bank would not reduce that to what I needed it to be, then I would just automatically flip it into a retail short sale scenario.
Excellent, excellent. I'm sorry. I'll let you get on with your teaching, Kim, and I'll hold my questions. Thanks.
Oh, no problem, buddy. No problem. Your questions are awesome, and I enjoy talking with you. Okay, next little case study real fast. Again, value versus debt. What if the debt is the same as the value, but with the repairs needed and the distress that's on the home, you can, again, work this as a good short sale. You can bring your value down lower. So this distressed homeowner, for example, owes $115,000. Again, approximately $15,000 in repairs. We did comparables in the neighborhood, and the comparables were about in the 120s and up. So we took an honest comparable at 120. We minused out our repairs of $15,000, and that brought the value down of the value of the house, the appraised value.
You have just watched a preview of one of our many online subgroups. Do you have questions about real estate investing and strategies? The REIA Network hosts a variety of topics and continues to add and update on a monthly basis. You can gain knowledge and get the answers you need for a membership of only $19.95 a month. Your membership will gain you access to skilled professionals that share their experience and knowledge through subgroups, forums, and an online bookstore with digital downloads under $10. For an overview of our services, including how you can make money for yourself, your local REIA, or both, go to www.thereianetwork.com.